Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
What a mess. Oh, darn. Well, that was some part of the intro. I'm the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. Thanks for tuning in. That was my fault, y'all. We were in the middle of jamming, but we're just going to get going. My bad. I pressed the wrong button. That's what happens when you have the power to run your own show, you have the power to destroy your own show as well. But anyways, what's up? Yeah, a little awkward. Hey, Becca, what's up? Hey, Beatty. And everybody, Will Cole. Hey, Internet Master Troy. We're going to get just rocking and rolling. Let's do it. Right? Let's just get into it. Because I got some stuff to get into. We got some topics. As well as your calls. 888-775-3773. I got the Zelensky on. I got the Zelensky fit on. So make sure you support me. Without fail, without any question, make sure you donate everything, okay? Because my fight is more important than your life. Okay, what's up? Let's get it showing the roll a little bit here. Let me just say hello to the people over there at Rumble. You got the party started early. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Thank you very much for that. And, of course, all your support. On YouTube, you can subscribe, follow, press that little bell notification so you know when I'm on, when we're flying the plane or doing the show, right? Classic mess. So you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Hey, let's get into some stuff here. Do you remember this little trend? This little dumb trend that got some attention on TikTok and all that? And it's this NPC trend. If you don't know what that means, it means non-player character. And I've joked about this before. Definitely have made plenty fun of this trend that happened on TikTok, right? Where it's people pretending to be a non-player character, like a character in a video game, responding to people's donations. Okay, and they do it if you want to be true to the art form, you do it in a robotic way, as if you were a hologram, there for the public's, only there, created only for the public's entertainment and all that, right? To do so that you can interact, and that's what their purpose is. Their whole life, their life is dedicated to being your NPC and to entertain you on your little screen. And so that's kind of the what's it called? The trend, the lore behind the trend. You know what I'm talking about. Some of this mess here that you're seeing on your screen. You remember these people in the yes, yes, yes. Ice cream so good. You know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can. Hold up. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, great. I figured out why you couldn't hear it.
No! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Oh, no. Here.
Now spicy.
Ice cream so good. Yes.
There you go. You remember what I'm talking about. Just a little bit of a reminder. Well, there's one NPC video that I didn't get to show you yesterday. So we'll get started with what we didn't get to do. One NPC video, one last one, okay? This is the last one. I told you guys this is the last one. This is the last one. There's this latest one. And in this one, though, in this saga, the NPC loses his cool. We have an NPC of Miles Morales. Okay, you know who Miles Morales is? He's the latest Spider-Man, I believe. in the Spider-Man universe. The Spider-Verse, okay? Miles Morales, I believe the first black Spider-Man. Is he the first black? Do I just Google first black? Yes! Miles Morales is the first black Spider-Man. He marks the second time a Latino character. Wait, hold up. Miles Morales, Wikipedia. Yeah, because Morales sounds a little bit Latino. Here's the Wikipedia. It says, although Morales is the first black Spider-Man, he marks the second time a Latino character has taken the Spider-Man identity. Hold up. Which one is he? Miles Gonzalo Morales. Does chat know? Is he the black Spider-Man or is he black Mexican? Is he Blexican? Anyways, this video we're about to watch of this NPC, he's doing Miles Morales in public, and it didn't go too well. Okay, he breaks character. Okay, he breaks character, and I guess that's not what you want to do as an NPC. Kind of betrays the whole art form. You can't break character. NPCs don't break character. They're coded to be the way they are. Okay? Let's watch Miles Morales. Oh, hold up. Let me move the camera. Okay, let's watch Miles Morales. And just so you know, a bunch of swears, they're bleeped out. But he's calling the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is basically gets into an interaction with another, a citizen of the friendly neighborhood. And what does Miles Morales do? He can't help but call this individual a friendly neighbor. Maybe not those exact words, but something similar. Watch this.
Hey, thanks for the gummies. Hey, fuck nigga, what you said? What you said, fuck
friendly
nigga?
Neighbor.
Hey, what you said, fuck nigga? You said don't stoop to that low. What you said, fuck nigga? Hey, come here, let me knock your teeth out, nigga. Ass boy. Come here, let me do my nerdy shit in peace before I beat your ass, nigga.
Neighbor?
What's wrong with you? These niggas think I'm weak or some shit. I'll beat the fuck out you. Walk away, white boy. Walk away, pussy boy. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. Nigga can't just be on some nerdy shit, bro, without some nigga coming up to me, bro. Make this shit go viral, bro. The fuck? That shit is annoying, nigga. God damn. F***ing pussy boy. I'm just trying to be a nerd in f***ing peace, nigga. God damn.
And then he goes back.
Hey, it's me.
Doesn't skip a beat.
Ooh, that's hot. Hey, thanks for roses.
Doesn't skip a beat. Right back to work. But like I said, it betrays the whole art form. You can't just lose your cool. You're an NPC. That's not coded in you, unless I guess that was scripted, right? It was a quick time event or something. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. What the heck's going on here? He sure called him a friendly neighbor. That's what he was saying, kids. He was just saying friendly and neighbor a lot. Okay? Neighbor. But you can't just react like that. What's up with black guys appropriating white culture? Hold on. Which they first appropriated the Japanese, right? The nerdy white culture. That's cultural appropriation. The nerdy white otaku. Hey, I'm not against it though. I love appropriation of culture. It's great. I think it's great. It's a sign of respect sometimes. Okay? I saw this thing where the Japanese, they have, for example, they have this festival where they dress up like cowboys and they do a bunch of Western stuff. But you see them at this festival and it's all Japanese people. They were fine celebrating the different cultures, dressing up, having the food, doing all the things, but they didn't bring in all the people. They didn't bring in the people. They just, appropriated the culture and had their fun. So I got to respect the Japanese a little bit there. But yeah, little kind of funny video. It's just silly, really. I didn't get to it yesterday. And it's whatever. The first black Spider-Man. It's a little silly. I just wanted to show you guys, since I was making fun of these NPCs. Well, this one is it takes the cake. This is the last one we'll do. But also, I wanted to play it because of a different reason. It's a little bit, there's actual a point here. We're not just gonna. There's a little bit of a point, and I realized that there are just complexity, if you will, if you can call it that, between the races. Okay, it's gotten complex. The story is long and has many as ups and downs, and people disagree on the story, and it's become complex. Okay. The relationship has become complex, and we keep trying to work on it, right? And anyways, and so it seems like, where was I? Yes, the complexity. Okay, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so the complexity between the races. Okay, as like I said, come about from this long story that people can't agree on the facts and all this, and he said, she said, and payback for this and making up for that. And it's become, and there are current today differences between the races, okay? And what I mean by that is like they don't agree on stuff today. And there are, evils happening on both sides, okay? There's slights, imagined slights, actual evil and hate going around on both sides. And one thing that's kind of needed is, I guess you could call it an honest conversation, maybe. That sounds a little silly, like, what, are we just going to talk about it now? But yeah, a little bit. An honest conversation where people can debate and talk about certain things, okay? Because it's kind of needed, at least would be better than what we have now, I think, which is kind of holding it in. Everybody's just separate, segregating further and further, which might, the Scott Adams approach is looking more and more like the only way. But people are segregating, the complexity rises, okay? And a conversation could be at least a start on the other direction. But we can't have like an honest conversation about, for example, race until we can admit that it's absolutely wrong how this guy reacted. Okay, I know I'm focusing on this one individual here, but hear me out. Because you could say, well, the guy, he was yelling at him. If you didn't hear the video, Miles Morales loses his cool after we learned, I guess, a white boy was walking by and said, don't stoop to that low. Don't stoop to that low. Just, some unsolicited advice. Was it joking? Was it serious? Who knows? But they're at a movie theater, and he's in public doing his thing. And there's the white boy yelling, don't stoop to that low. And Miles Morales, he's not going to let that one go. He doesn't let that go, okay? And you might say, well, the guy was yelling at him, could be a joke or whatever. But the guy yelling at him, he was asking for it, okay? And I notice a lot of people take that position, that he was asking for it in this case. But I would say that that's not allowed in like a civilized society. Because that guy was just yelling. Let's say, and what was he yelling? A joke. But he was just yelling, okay? And I think a lot of people agree with this mentality of, well, we should be civilized and all that, but also don't be surprised if you get what's coming for you. Am I making sense here? If you're going to go around yelling, you better have the hands to back it up. And it's like, that might be sound advice. That's sound advice, sure. But it still doesn't make this guy's anger any less wrong. And it seems emblematic of blacks today, and really a kind of mentality that everyone has picked up. I think maybe it could have been led by the blacks. I don't know, maybe I was too young. But we may have been led to that point, but it seems like everybody's agrees with that mentality. Well, that guy had what's coming. Don't provoke people because you get. But I don't think that's right in a civilized society. That's not fine at all. And blacks might be leading the way to this like tribal reactionary mindset. That's pretty much justified. You hear it all the time with random, like, violent attacks on, for example, white people. They'll ask, well, did he say the N-word? Did he call him the N-word, though? Okay, yeah, but was he being racist? So what? How is that at all pertinent? At all. Of course, I'm talking about I'm talking about a hypothetical situation here, but I'm also talking about real stories I've seen, actual stories of white people being struck or attacked, and sometimes it was that that person had said the N-word and said something racist, said, "Hey, get out of here, you N-word." And some of those cases, it's true, but even then, I'm reminded of that recent university graduate or something like that. Remember her? She was some black lady, some black girl. And she took the mic out of some white woman's hand. Do you remember that? That got some attention for a while. And she had claimed that they were being racist, right? That they were taking the mic away from the black students a little too fast. And I was saying, well, if that white lady holding the microphone said, "You little N-word, you better not talk for a second longer, and if you do, I'm going to take the mic away." Even if she said that, it didn't justify going crazy on her and the way she reacted. Okay, you see the point I'm trying to make here? That's why I'm saying we need N-word passes for all people in America, all American citizens. We'll talk about the DACA and the illegals after, okay? First, close the border, then we'll deal with N-word passes for all the illegals. But for all the American citizens, we need state-mandated N-word passes to save the union, okay? Now, you may think we should just be allowed to come together naturally and say the N-word, give each other N-word passes naturally. But don't you understand? This is the Union. This is how it was built. The Civil War and all that. This is how it was built. So we're going to force N-word passes so that we can stay together. All right? And then we'll figure it out. And this should be a momentous occasion, too. We should all be cheering. This shouldn't be like the civil rights. It shouldn't be like the civil rights movement where people were forced to integrate, and that wasn't nice, you know. In this new America with N-word passes for all, you will be allowed your freedom of assembly. Absolutely, that just makes sense. But how? But that a group, large swaths of the country are under terrorism, under terroristic threats to their livelihoods, about to be canceled at any moment should they say the wrong thing, put out the wrong idea. That's not a union that can continue. No. That's not a union that can continue. No. So I propose on my first day as your president, I propose N-word passes for all. First Amendment is an N-word pass, says John Frederick. Absolutely. Of course, we're just playing around here. Because we already should have the N-word pass. It's called the First Amendment. Okay? And of course, the First Amendment doesn't teach you decorum and common sense, when to say things, right? That doesn't teach you all that. That's essential, right, as an individual in the world. But absolutely, we have an N-word pass already. It's called the First Amendment, right on John Frederick. Thanks for your super chats, Sion and Rusty Smackleford. We got a nice little KO punch emoji from Sion, the lovely Sion, always supportive. And, of course, Rusty Smackleford says, Nick on point, as usual. Thank you, sir, for the super chats there and the support. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else here. Nice. Should I add those to the emo fund? I'm almost a little embarrassed to say. That might be $20 towards the emo fund. And, you know what we should do? I should do like a man on the street at like an emo concert or something. And see if I can still relate. See if I can still relate to the youngins. But I'll be all emoed out. Maybe grow it out. Maybe I'd be like, Dad. You know what I mean? And then something like that. I'm just stealing $1 million extreme jokes. Okay. Shout out to Sam Hyde and the MD. I had something else about this. I feel like I had something else about the N-word. I definitely do. But something about this Miles Morales guy. Was there something else? No, I think that's it. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. That to criticize that Miles Morales, okay? In that way, because I understand some of you may disagree. I'd never do that again. I understand some of you might disagree, like, you know, when in public, if someone disrespects you, you know, you have a right to, I guess, you know, fight back or whatever. I don't know. I think most cases, I was talking about this with a friend, and he put a scenario to me about being pranked by one of these YouTube pranksters in public. And some of these YouTube pranksters, they go far. And he's describing one where they actually take a water gun and they soak the person that they're pranking. And my friend was asking, well, like, if you didn't know that was a prank and you got heated, like, would you, like, fight them? And I'm not saying I wouldn't get heated. I don't know what I would do. I'd hope I remember that we're living in a prank world. And I just think, and I just assume at all times this might be a prank. But I said, you know, I said to him, like, if water gets thrown on me, water kind of, you know, I don't know if you've seen this video, Cardi B getting that water thrown on her. I'm always scrolling the news, so I know everything, even the dumb news. And I think if water gets thrown on you, that's kind of a physical thing, and you can fight back. I might be black for saying that. Maybe I'm a little black. Oh, maybe I'm a little black and ready to fight in violence for that. But I know it's just water, but someone throws water on you. I'm not saying you should. Maybe this person's bigger than you. It might beat you up. Maybe you don't want to do that. But I think that constitutes a physical altercation, and you can strike back. But my friend was explaining to me, you know, I think with that mentality, you're just asking to get hurt. So interesting. But check this out. Speaking of militant canceling of people and being American citizens being terrorized over the usage of a word, do you know who FouseyTube is? FouseyTube. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒂𝒎 is also known as FouseyTube. Is an American YouTuber who produces parodies, vlogs. Hey, he's been around for a long time, okay? Born in California to Palestinian parents. Let me see if I can pull up an image of Fousey. Fousey, yalla, yalla. Yalla, habibi. FouseyTube, like I said, been on YouTube for a long time. Multiple YouTube channels, I think started in 2012. So any of us been on the YouTubes for a while, you know who I'm talking about. You know, could you say legendary? Could you say? Well, how would you describe him, chat? Like a drama channel / culture vlogs, kind of like Drama Alert or whatever. You know, if you're seeing his image now on screen, you might remember who I'm talking about. FouseyTube. I think he recently went on the juice, no? Not recently, just like a couple years ago, he had this huge transformation. He was just Fousey, he always had these big looking fake teeth and the very manicured eyebrows. He was always just Fousey. And then one day out of nowhere, he was like just jacked. And I'm pretty sure all the fitness channels were saying, oh, he's not natty anymore. But I don't know what the hell. I can't say, right? I don't know. I haven't done the work myself before I could judge. But anyways, enough of FouseyTube. Not enough of him. Let's get to the news here. He said the N-word. Oh, no. He said the N-word. And he was so mortified. He did it live on stream, and he was apparently doing a subathon. Maybe I should do a subathon. What's a subathon? What's a subathon, chat? FouseyTube apologizes for saying racial slur during Twitch subathon. You definitely don't want to be saying the N-word on Twitch. Ooh. That's right, I am streaming on Twitch. I forgot that I'm streaming on Twitch. I need to be aware of this because Twitch is much tougher. Much tougher on their TOS and stuff, terms of service. Let me say hi. What's up, Twitch people? Hey, I always neglect y'all. Twitch.tv/Gorgonzola if you want to catch me up on Twitch. But where was I? FouseyTube FouseyTube is apologizing for saying the N-word. And let's watch. We're gonna watch the clip here of the moment, Fouseygate, the moment where he said it. But has published a public apology after using a racial slur. Thank you, Hake, for the feedback there. I'll see if I can lower the volume on some of this stuff. But he was singing along to a rap song, okay? And you know these rap songs, they're full of this word, this nuclear word, the other N word, and so Fousey's rapping along to a J. Cole song, okay? And basic Fousey, J. Cole, and let's watch the clip here of Fousey saying the N word in the moment where his world came apart.
Sleeping on your level, cause there's beauty in the struggle. There's beauty in the struggle.
I never use that word. I swear to fucking God, this isn't content. I never use that fucking word. I've listened to rap songs every day on this subathon, and I always change it out for brother. I had a tweet that literally said, I hate when street.
I shouldn't be laughing. This man, I think that's honest. I think that's sincere panic and sincere, I think that might be sincere panic from Fousey, and I shouldn't laugh. He's like, I always say brother. I swear, I always say brother. I used to say neighbor, but I just pretty much say it now. It's just YouTube holding me back now. And decorum, of course. Decorum, okay? I grew up a different way. I relate to Hake. I grew up a different way. I don't just go around saying it because now it's alpha to take the N-word pass or whatever. But I am kind of laughing at him, Hake, okay? Because of his reaction, it's very visceral. And I almost laugh because I'm, I guess, free of this fear. But I shouldn't laugh too hard because you got to understand, he's a big YouTuber, okay? He's been around for many years. You got to understand, this guy's been in the industry for years, streaming, making videos, and he's avoided this moment all these years. He's avoided this horrible moment, which has become worse over the years, by the way. Used to be a lot freer on YouTube. People used to just actually say that word. You know, say it with the N-G. People used to just say it. You know, people like Destiny. But this was years ago, okay? This was like more like Gamergate era when it was just gamers online. And you know those gamers. They'll use those gamer words. You know, and I so agree, Ivana. Just own it. Who cares? Don't start crying. I have a comment on that here. But Fousey, poor Fousey, he's feeling the pain. I think it's sincere feeling the pain because he knows what's possibly coming. Who knows? Some of these people, they get away with it. I don't know. I guess the world just forgives them sometimes. But which is an interesting point about the world and its love and its false love. Really, it picks and chooses. It forgives this person. It chooses like a Roman emperor at a Colosseum, and the Roman emperor is us, the sick public. We put our thumbs up or thumbs down on who lives or dies. It's really sick. It's really sick. How the public chooses who lives, who dies, whose livelihood gets, and he'll be fine. I get it. Fousey's got plenty of money. He's doing his thing, but it's the principle of the matter. This man said a word. Said the N-word, and then he apologizes. That's the bad part, right? The problem with that, like Ivana said, own it. Because when people go around, they start saying stuff like this. They start saying, oh, wow, if that's what he did by accident, imagine what he does when no one's looking. If that's what seeps out of him, oozes out of that racism, that oozes out of the crevices, that can't just help. I'm adding to it. I'm kind of adding to it. That can't just help but come out of him. Imagine what he does when no one's looking. And that's what I hate about the apologizers, because it just falls into their framework, okay? That's why I really love there is no such thing as racism. It's a total denial of their stupid framework, okay? Because if you're not hating, then you can say whatever. It's all love. It literally is all love, even if you say stuff that sounds mean or rude. That's what I don't like about the whole apology thing. Because I believe him too. By believe him, well, let me read a bit of his apology. I believe both his panic and his subsequent apology. He says he apologized. He says we saw his anger and his shame. And then he writes, tonight on stream of day 31 on my subathon, I was rapping along to @JCole, love yours, and accidentally dropped the N-word. Before you see the clip on social media and take it out of context, please find the full clip. I could not be more ashamed or upset with myself. I am deeply sorry. This doesn't represent my character. I literally tweeted 2 weeks ago against the usage of the word. I will do better, no question. And the thing is I believe him. Obviously, I think he's obviously sincere, and he's a total liberal. These guys are all liberals and all that. And I don't know. He might say it more than he says here, but I think he's being sincere in his panic and not wanting to say it, definitely at least not publicly. And he's all for that stuff, liberal. But he's giving it to the framework and feeding the beast, making it worse for the passing the buck on, even though he might get some hate and penalties and maybe full-on cancellation. We'll see. Maybe, like I said, maybe the public will let him live. But even despite all that, you're still passing the buck on to the next guy, to the next generation. You're passing the buck on. It's like welfare and debt and the U.S. debt and stuff like that. You're passing the buck on to the next generation, and they're just gonna get angrier and more divided. And you can only fingers crossed that the next generation or whatever is at least doesn't go along with fear and is honest and turns it around. Because if it doesn't, we're talking like it's conflict, which could be violent or not. And I don't know I'm not calling for anything or saying anything. That's the future. That's a possible future before us. Okay. Future doesn't exist, but you see what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Fousey should not be reacting like that. That's not right. That's not a good society we're living in, that someone can react like that over saying something like that accidentally. And it was just he's wrong for his reaction, but you see what I'm saying? It was an accident. It's just wrong. And this terrorizing of people it's wrong. It's not right. Yep. What are you guys saying in the chat? What do you guys think of this? He's crying over a word, so he's pretty much black. Oh, interesting take, Ivana. He's one of y'all. Give him the pass. Go in the hood, Nick, and say the N-word and see if you will get a pass. Chad Rawls wants the end of the American Anchor Baby, apparently. Okay, I don't have the hands. I don't have the hands to go into and I don't think I have the ammo. I don't think I have the ammo, let alone the hands to go into the hood and say that, okay? Because as much as you can criticize that Miles Morales character we talked about for his reaction and say, well, that's never okay. That's still pretty sound advice. Don't go around just saying stuff that you can't back up with the hands. Because you might get an angry, out-of-control person who's totally not justified in their reacting to you and fighting you. Okay? Like that, Miles Morales. Okay? But yep. Thank you, Rockstar Nativist. Nice. And caring about words, too. That's a good point some of you guys are making in the chat. Caring about words. Fousey doesn't know that you don't have to care about words, and that's beta. Someone tell him. Yeah, that's right. Words don't have this power. You're just giving it that power. And you're letting the public give it that power and all that. And the public is really they don't even have that power over you anyways. It's only because they're only supplanting you by way of your own desire and care of your own personal, things that you've acquired, your career, your material things, your reputation, things that you care about that the world is using against you. Nick might not be able to back up with the hands, but he has the elote. Yeah, exactly. What about that video? It was like it's like famous. What is it? Mexican guy, New York, N-word. A Mexican man says the N-word in front of black man. This is a legendary clip. Okay, I might have the elote to say the N-word pass, and this man here proves it. Let's see if we can watch this classic internet video. Mexican man who says the N-word in New York in front of a black man, and it looks like it's about to go it looks like it's not all sweet for a second there. This may not be bleeped, so apologies, adults, cover the ears of the children, okay? Because I believe we may have some N-bombs incoming. But YouTube, they are allowed to say it. Everyone you are about to see has an N-word pass. I repeat, YouTube, everyone you're about to see has an N-word pass.
So all you niggas, whites and brown, 𒒂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂 See, I'm Mexican, I can say what's up, nigga? ¿Qué pasa, güey? ¿Qué pasa, vato? You saw shit.
Oh, no. You guys didn't even see it. Hold on. We're going to have to do a replay. We're going to have to do a times two. We're going to have to do a times two.
Hey,
Let's do that again. Run it back for the chat. Hold up. Let's go.
So all you niggas, whites and brown, 𒒂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂💂 See, I'm Mexican, I can say what's up, nigga? ¿Qué pasa, güey? ¿Qué pasa, vato? You saw shit. Hey, you saw shit. Hey, you saw? Hey, we make the name.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now we just got to include the whites, okay? And then the union may be able to survive another 100 years. Okay? So can we get a LOL, I've seen it before. Can't see it, Nick. Can't see it. What a mess. Well, now you saw it, right? Like I said, N-word passes all around. Let's... Come on, guys. Come on, right? Let's keep it going for another 100 years or something. But like kind of turn it around a little bit. Yeah, Will Cole, how things should be. See, Sal, don't try this. It won't work for you. Yeah, this is not advice. This is not advice. Okay, this is just the hopes for a better world, okay? You see what I'm saying here, y'all? What a mess. Okay, let's move on here. Let's see, what should I do next? Here's what I'll do. Is Frederick in the chat? Frederick, are you in the chat? I have a caller, if you don't know, chat. I have a caller who calls my show every now and then, Frederick, and I appreciate his calls, and he brought up something yesterday. I think it was yesterday. He brought up him and Mark, two callers on my show, peddling in conspiracy theories. Okay, I was Googling what they were talking about. In the middle of their Googling, Google served me a Wikipedia page on a particular conspiracy that these particular callers were peddling in. And you know me, I don't like that stuff. But I'm talking about this like kosher food thing. Do you guys remember that? Anybody was tuning into yesterday's show? And they had brought up basically, okay, from what I understood from Frederick was that many of the foods we're eating that we're buying at the grocery store is their prices is slightly inflated or whatever due to being kosher certified or something like that, okay? And it goes that everyone is paying a little bit more for food, basically. And I guess their money is going to places, to support organizations or whatever they're not aware of, because they're not paying attention to the little kosher or the little circular or the little circle with the U on their food, which signifies that it's part of the order of, what's it called? OU, kosher, OU, the order, the Orthodox Union. Okay, so it either has a circle and a K or a circle and a U, which is for the Orthodox Union, which certifies kosher stuff, food, and all that, okay? And so my thing, Broski Bear in the chat says more than slightly inflated. So I really don't know. And so he was telling me that, and my first response was, well, isn't that on me? Isn't that my fault for not paying attention to what I'm buying? And he said, well, I don't want to get him wrong here, but I'm pretty sure he's basically summarized, well, the problem is that it's pretty much all food. And so you can't get away from it. You just can't get away from it. You're gonna pay the kosher tax, goy. And so that was one thing. And then Mark called afterwards, kind of bringing more light to the story, I guess, about some commander, George Lincoln Rockwell, who also talked about this. Well, Wikipedia says it's a kosher conspiracy, so I wouldn't, I'm not one to peddle in conspiracy here, right, YouTube? So that far be it from me, right? But anyways, he made a claim. Frederick made a claim. He's like, go to the grocery store, and you'll see it's all over. And I didn't go to the grocery store. But I did go into the office refrigerator. I did go into the office refrigerator because I like to see things for myself, right? And I went into the office fridge and I did a little perusing. of the various accoutrements of, what is accoutrement? Is that food? Accoutrement, meaning additional items of dress or equipment. Whatever. The various things in the office refrigerator. And let's see if we can bring some attention here. Well, what were your findings, Nick? What did you find? Is the kosher conspiracy real? Well, let me tell you right now, your rooster sauce is free from any such subversion. I'm talking about sriracha. I remember we called it rooster sauce in Canada. You gotta get the rooster sauce. Well, they're free from such subversion, but sorry, naked juice drinkers. I do see a little K. I see a little K. Accompaniments. Okay. Sriracha. That might be right. But yeah, naked. I don't know who's got the naked juice in the fridge, but Bill looked at me because I said naked really loud. I'm talking about naked juice. We got Bill the engineer in the house. Hey, Bill. But yeah, the naked juice. Hold on. Moving on here. The mustard, ladies and gentlemen. The mustard is part of the Orthodox Union. The German mustard, ladies and gentlemen. Is there something wrong? Is this racial animus? The German mustard has been subverted? No. This is, I think, maybe racial animus, and I think I must move on from this because I don't want to be bringing up bad blood. I don't want to be doing that. The macaroons, the coconut macaroons, not the macaroons. I don't like this coconut chocolate. I don't like this coconut chocolate degeneracy anyways. I'm not against coconut, but these coconut, those like coconut chocolate balls, and they have the crispy like coconut flakes. I don't like that stuff. I just don't like the flakes that much. I'm not against coconut, but it's those flakes. I just don't like that stuff. I guess that's just shredded coconut. But it's degenerate. So I guess it's certified. The kombucha, let me let you know the two kombuchas in the fridge. I might be putting on blast. I don't know. I'm not saying whose this is, but this is the office fridge. The two kombuchas in the fridge I did not find any such certifications. Okay, the kombuchas remain unsubverted. Okay, I didn't see such things. Okay, now the creamer, every creamer you see before you, the creamers, ladies and gentlemen, the degenerate, delicious creamers. You gotta love the creamers. All certified. Okay, the cream cheese. Not the cream cheese. The cream cheese, but hey, to be fair, it came from a bagel shop, okay? It came from a bagel shop, so that just makes sense, right? The old soy sauce, the old dirty soy sauce that's probably been on the side of the fridge forever, and it's all like the bottle's dirty and there's like just a few drops left and nobody touches it. It's been there forever. This too. Not all the Asians got away from it. the Thai rooster sauce, but the soy sauce. Sorry, they did not get away. They were unable to to survive this. They were unable to survive this subversion. But here's the thing, though. We're having fun here. We're just making jokes, having fun. Honestly, though, it was less than half of the stuff in our. This is just our little. This is just our little test. This was just our little test, but it was less than half. Like I'd say maybe 40%, maybe less than that of stuff in the fridge and around the office had the certification and we were unwittingly paying into. So I don't know if that's a point for this gross anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, obviously. So it was less than half. It wasn't that much. And what's the thing here? Let's say it was a whole bunch. Maybe you can educate me, chat. Let's say it was a whole bunch of the fridge had all this stuff certified. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why is that bad? Like, doesn't that, like these, I noticed all the certified stuff were like canned stuff, big like stuff that's like obviously produced in factories and in large amounts. And when you're a big company trying to supply a large consumer base, don't you want to add more customers by, I guess, getting a little certification? Doesn't that just make sense? What am I not getting here? Because I don't know. Is there something I'm not getting here, chat? Because and then another thing is I still can't go away from, well, aren't I the silly person for not paying attention to what I'm buying if I really don't want to be paying for kosher stuff and all that? Isn't that on me? Now I won't. Now, look. On this topic though, I noticed another can in the fridge, which had a certification of this or that, a similar stuff, but it wasn't kosher. It was this. It said non-GMO verified, and I'm not going to deny that there's organizations or regulatory agencies or part of the governments or parts of both the private and public sector that are basically using us. They're basically rackets. Okay, I'm not saying the kosher stuff is, but I'm not saying it isn't either, and I'm not saying that it's not maybe using taxpayer stuff and doing bad things. Okay, for lack of a better, because look at this non-GMO verified stuff. That's probably a freaking regulatory cartel as well. And what about green stuff? Oh, this is certified green. And it's like just more regulatory tape and bureaucratic stuff so that you can get a nice little stamp so that you can please a certain consumer base and blah, 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 and the numbers. And it's all like a money game. So that's kind of my take there, Frederick, if you hear this today or if you hear this at all. That's kind of what I did a little research on your thing here. I hope you enjoy it. You're not even, maybe I should have waited for him to be here. But it's okay. Maybe you could catch it sometime. I do appreciate his calls and I guess a little bit of the content as well. So I can't be mad about that. Can't be mad about that. There, Frederick, much appreciated. But not all foods in the Bond fridge have been untouched by the subversion. What are you guys saying in the chat? What are you guys saying about this mess? Yeah. Riveting stuff, says. Well, thank you, Phil Starr. Thank you for the vote of confidence there. Riveting stuff. Can't unsee Zelensky, Nick. I'm telling you guys, I not only have the Zelensky fit on, and you know what that means. You must, praise your loyalty and undying support for the American anchor baby. Okay, that's the only right thing to do. What are you, a bigot? What do you hate? Good things. So obviously you gotta support me, undying support for me, because I have the Zelensky fit. But I don't think it's just the fit. Can I be honest here? I don't think it's quite. It's just, why can't I find a single picture? There it is. Chat, give me what do you guys think, chat? Is it just the fit, or is a little bit of face shape / beard action / straight up looking like the guy? Straight up looking like Zelensky. Let me show you a picture of what I'm looking at. Chat, what do you guys think, chat? Is it just the fit? Or is it worse? Or is it worse? Is it genetics? No, I'm joking. Is it, or is it, what is it, chat? Look, here, let me see if I can do a side-by-side. I think we got a good one here. Chat, what do you think? What do you think? Is it just the fit? Or is it the looks, too? Uh-oh. We're doing a side-by-side here, switching back and forth if you're just listening. Oh, no. Give me your money, chat. I'm Zelensky. Oh, that's Nick. Nick, a Zelensky clone confirmed. Thanks, Raymond. Raymond saying it's just a shirt. Nick, whatever happened to that sequin rhinestone shirt you used to wear? What the? Who's peddling in conspiracy theories now? Who's peddling in conspiracy theories now? You're saying it was a sequin. Now it's a sequin. Now all of a sudden it's a sequin rhinestone shirt. Now I understand how some of these conspiracy theories happen. Over time, so broken telephone happens, and a sparkly blouse went from sparkly blouse to sequin rhinestone shirt. I'm never gonna live it down. What happened to your sparkle blouse, Nick? You better not have got that into your thoughts and head about what people think. Well, let me tell you, chat, I do still own and have the sparkly blouse. Maybe I'll wear it when I go emo. Maybe I'll go sparkle. Maybe, I don't know if the sparkle blouse will fit my emo fit if the emo fund ever gets filled, which it'll never happen. Nick, put that blouse on. I do own it. I didn't get rid of it. I'm not trying to bury the truth. Okay, that's a conspiracy. Stop with the conspiracies. I'm not trying to bury the sparkle blouse. I do still have it. Fine, I will bring the sparkly blouse. Maybe I'll bring it out. Hey, I almost don't want to say your name. Hake Farts Christianly over on there on Rumble. Dennis 2020, and of course the Hake Report. Ohio Sentinel. You guys rock. Thank you for keeping the party going over there on Rumble. Much appreciated there. Nick, go goth. Do we have any graduated goths in the chat? I disavow. The Zenlensky. No, I'm killing it with the Zenlensky. Let's be real. Okay. Let's move on here. Cholo goth. I could be a cholo goth. Depressed Toilet with the it says first super chat for Depressed Toilet. Is that so? First ever. Thank you for your super chat, Depressed Toilet, your support. Thank you so much. He says, here, Nick, for your upcoming cocaine habit. What the? Well, thanks for that, Depressed Toilet. Is that a Zelensky joke? Is that a? Are you saying Zelensky? What are you saying about our man Zelensky? What are you saying about the Z-Man here? Is that slander on the Z-Man? Well. What shall we do now? Shall we do some real news? Shall we do, I guess, some real news? Or what should we do? We could do some real news. YouTube policy. There was something interesting here. Hold on. Okay. Basically, I want to talk a little bit about maybe censorship a bit, and public perception, and a little bit about Trump as well. And what's going on with all this mess, the elections next year, 2024 elections coming up. It's the showdown. And we're seeing what's in store for the American public as those as the months roll by and we get closer to election, you know, what are they going to try next, right? Give me 1 second here. Okay, so sorry, y'all. Let me do this. Big tech, right?
Our Center for Technology and Society.
Okay, check it out.
ADL.
Because censorship is still kind of a thing, okay? Still kind of a big deal. And there's a reason why it feels like the vocal minority has so much power, okay, in the country. The vocal minority, the loud minority, because doesn't it feel like how I was describing earlier, being it's like a hostage situation with the N-word stuff, okay? It's a total hostage situation. FouseyTube suddenly entered a hostage situation with the American public, specifically the minority the minority majority of POCs and really any hateful people, which when you conclude it, if you include that metric, well, I guess that's really most people. But he entered a hostage situation with the angry black people and all that who care about the N-word. And that's a little bit about what I want to talk about, because there's a it sure feels like that, don't you agree? That a minority of people can exert such pressure on the rest of what it feels like the rest of us, right? The rest of society. And it's crazy. It can't really continue. And the reason and there's a reasoning behind it, okay? And just to, I guess, say that, just to finish that thought, it's the reasoning behind it is that female spirit, okay? You have to have a female spirit for this to even come about, because you have to feel bad for the few. You have to feel bad for the one. Now, and that flips society around and allows you to subjugate, subvert, or oppress, or whatever, the 99. Okay, because the 99 would normally never allow that. But the 99 have been taught to feel bad for the one. To feel bad, and feeling bad is not actually love or caring, but it's about feelings and feeling bad for the few. Okay? And the women kind of taught us that. And that's how you get censorship. That's how you allow this kind of, that's how censorship comes about. How Fousey reacting like a crazy person to saying the N-word accidentally. That's how you get that. That's how all this comes about, okay? Feeling bad for the few. And so censorship's still kind of a thing. And there's groups, the few, who kind of push this. They're kind of the mouthpiece and intellectual underpinning behind who gets censored and why, okay? Groups like the ADL, the SPLC, who have named Jesse before, and other such groups and interested individuals and groups and all that, okay? Censorship. And you know, it's been a battle with X and Twitter, well, Twitter now X, and Elon Musk and all that, on the censorship of conservatives and everything that's going on there. And I was made aware recently, now this may be old news, but someone told me this recently, and I don't think I remember ever reporting on it. And I was trying to look it up here because I had an article, and I seem to have lost it, which is just so bad. That's not how you do a show. But I was made aware that YouTube, basically YouTube, had changed their policy on what they deem are news channels. So if you're a news channel, you're pretty much not going to show up on trending stuff, on most sidebars and all that, if you're not deemed a trustworthy news source by YouTube, okay? Which is wild, you know? If you're just talking about this stuff, you know, Hake, Jesse, they'll get flagged as, and these are channels that talk about way more than news, and they don't claim to be like experts or anything, and they bring a different view to stuff, and they bring another side to the news that you don't hear, and you'll get these, and they'll get calls. They talk about religion and all these things, but they'll get flagged as a news channel, right? A channel like Jesse or Hake, they'll get flagged, or mine. They'll get flagged as a news channel for talking about certain topics. And then YouTube won't work with them, won't promote them anymore because they're not a trusted news source. They want to reserve the trending spaces and all that for if you're under the news umbrella and the news tag, they want to save that for the ones that they've chosen to be trustworthy, okay? And so that kind of mentality is what we're living under most companies and the government itself and all that. And we've seen with the Twitter files and now with the latest Facebook files, they're calling them the Facebook files. They're calling them the Facebook files. No, I'm not calling them that. And on how specifically the Biden administration, but government officials and all that, the links they went to affect, to influence these social media companies like Facebook and Twitter to boost certain topics, censor certain others, outrightly censor certain stories. Right? So that's kind of what we're living under, right?
The ADL, our Center for Technology and Society.
Okay, sorry. There was this clip kind of going around about kind of this. And you'll see Jonathan Greenblatt here who runs the ADL. And the ADL goes around telling companies and individuals and organizations what should be censored, who should be censored, and it's always to stop hate, right? It's also to stop hate and protect this minority that you feel bad for. Okay? Let's see if we can watch some of this. Can we watch some of this? Can we do it? Yes, we can. Here's Jonathan Greenblatt, ADL, talking about exactly this.
The ADL, our Center for Technology and Society, works actively with all the kind of companies from Silicon Valley, from Apple to Zoom, if you will, from Amazon to Microsoft to Meta, and indeed to Twitter. We've dealt with them for years, helping them tackle the challenges of hate speech on their service. We point things out, we share information. But what we've said again and again and again, and I've had the privilege of speaking directly to Elon a few times, the reason why we are so concerned is because we think Twitter is such a consequential service. And again, allowing people who created the toxicity on the platform that led to real world violence. Keep in mind that the conspiracy theories that dominated on Twitter for so long exploded in places like Pittsburgh, Poway, El Paso, and of course, ultimately in Washington, D.C. on January the 6th. So what I would say very clearly
evil
to you, as I've told Elon Musk, as I've told to others, we need these companies to engage constructively, smartly, use their innovation to tackle hate speech. I see that chart you put up. That contradicts what we're seeing at ADL. We've seen anti-Semitic speech stay up there longer than ever before. We've been, indicating when we've seen toxic content, it's not coming down nearly as quickly as in the past. And considering that the human resources have been massively depleted at the company, that would seem to figure and loom large as to why it's happening today. Look, at the end of the day, Katie, ADL, and I think so many of us want Twitter to work.
How long is this clip? Anyways, that's it from Jonathan Greenblatt. That's what I wanted from it. So you're following so far. You just saw Jonathan Greenblatt, ADL, and expressing just how he's working with every big tech company. It's all they got their hands in every big tech company, and how necessary it is. He said we need to do that. I'll get to that in a second, but he's working with every company. It's talking to Elon, talking to all sorts of people. And talking to them, why? Because we got to stop the hate, which is such an interesting thing to even try to set out to do. Because the way they're doing it, it's not, let's try and understand each other. You got to take this in. their reasoning and their agenda is we need to stop the hate. We got to stop all the hate. But how do they do it? You would think, well, how do you stop the hate? Well, you got to have love, right? You got to come together. You got to understand each other. You got to talk things out. You got to be honest, right? All the things that love is about. All the things the Bible kind of, what love is what? Love is kind. Love is, what love is. Understand each other, talk things, separate if you need to, but not with anger, because you understand each other now. But what's their methodology in stopping the hate? Well, we need to silence people, separate people, stop them from talking about things, stop them from thinking certain things. What's loving about that? How do you stop hate with more hate? You know what I mean? You need love to stop hate. You can't. How do you stop hate by putting out more hate? And here's another example of putting out more hate. You had Jonathan Greenblatt there saying, and it's when these conspiracies and all this stuff on Twitter that got allowed to be said, and then that translated to real world things, and then he brings up like shootings like El Paso and stuff. And that's what's evil about it, is focusing on those, and then it culminates to January 6th. He says, you see that evil, how he lambasts certain people and certain groups, and then the cherry on top, he twists it all together with a nice little bow and says, and it all leads to January 6th. These evil anti-Semites, white people, Trump supporters, right? It's really a lambasting of certain groups. And it's so evil because, like I said, you can't stop evil with more hate. That's just him judging. That's just him judging and picking out certain groups. When you have all sorts of hate and evil on Twitter, you have all sorts of people calling all this white hatred on Twitter. That's totally allowed. You could go look it up right now. They call it Black Twitter. They call it Black Twitter. Find me a video of a white guy getting attacked randomly on the street by a black person, and I'm sure you'll find many on Twitter and in Black Twitter. And you'll see the Black Twitter people in the reply saying he must have said the N-word. He must have said this or that. That all of that's still there, but he's going to point out some of it, right? My point being that it's not fine to hate. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that, that those people who were fomenting what he calls as fomenting anger and conspiracy online, and that those certain people and their ideas cause real world violence. Okay, I'm not saying that that's fine, but the fact that he's picking it out the way he is shows his lack of understanding of what hate is. Because if he did understand, he wouldn't pick it out like that. He would see that it's in all people. The anger is expressed in all people. Currently today, if you have anger, your father's the devil. You're evil. Okay, not just these anti-Semites. If he knew that the true nature of evil, then he wouldn't be picking it out the way he is, or he doesn't care. You see what I'm saying? And you can't control people. You can't just make people. It's like the civil rights movement trying to force people to integrate and force them to come together. It didn't work, and that's not how you do it. You can't force people to love. You can't force people to come together. You can't force these things. The only thing you can and should force is an N-word pass for all people. But seriously, though, anybody, you guys disagree? 888-775-3773. But I'm just saying, like, and this is kind of the mentality on the censorship and all that. The feeling for the minority. That's how the majority can terrorize the rest of us. And we can't have nice things. Because we've allowed one of the sacraments of our society is feeling bad for the minority, which is evil. It's just hurting them and hurting yourself. That's not love. That's not the truth. You see what I'm saying? Y'all following? Hello? Am I talking? Hello? Did you fall asleep at church? Hello? I have a sleeping congregation. Yeah. Amazing. So, kind of my little thing on that video that was going around. YouTube politics. What else did I want to say about this? Here's one thing that I found interesting, though. that he said, this ADL guy, Jonathan Greenblatt, said, what did he say about needing the companies to basically follow suit? We need everybody to follow the rules, and they need it. They need the public perception to be the way it is. Why, though? Why? Well, I don't know why, but it expresses something I found maybe a little interesting. That public opinion still holds a little weight. What am I getting at here? What am I getting at here? To express what I'm getting at here, we're going to pivot to the Trump story a little bit, okay? And you know about Trump. You know about the indictment. And you know about this witch hunt of the president and how they're going after him for classified documents. And, he dared question an election, which you just don't do. Okay? And you know about the indictments coming down from the DOJ, Jack Smith, a possible arrest, the Georgia electors. You know about all this, okay? Talked about it yesterday a little bit. Well, CNN is answering a question that many people probably have instantly. As soon as they saw the indictments, they probably had this question in the days running up to all of this. But of course, everybody, I'm sure it's on the minds of many. Could Donald Trump serve as president if convicted? Asks CNN. And CNN goes on in the article to basically confirm right away, yes. In short, yes. Could the former president, who remains the front runner for the Republican presidential nomination, serve in the Oval Office again? Yes, in short. And then they go on. They have different law professors and different experts in the article expressing pretty much all saying yes. He can run. And I'm reading this kind of wondering, like, the spirit, the vibe of this article is a little bit worried. Kind of like, yes, I mean, we wished it wasn't like this, but sadly speaking, Trump could run. He still poses a threat, is my impression out of this article. Did we get him? Let me give you an alternative headline. Did we get him, ladies? Did we get him? Ladies and gents, sadly, it doesn't seem, sadly, inconclusive. Alternative headline from CNN. Did we stop him? Maybe not quite yet. And that's kind of the impression I get, that, well, he's still a threat. Well, don't get your hopes up. He's still a threat. And same thing goes for ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt guy, saying, we need the public's opinion to be a certain way. We need this to work. Because, and this might be maybe what's it called? Wishful thinking. But public opinion seems to still kind of matter a little bit, okay? And I know it's easily brainwashed and easily swayed, but there's a reason why so many groups and companies and so much money is poured into this, because, we still kind of hold some of the keys here. We remember Bud Light Gate, Bud Light and all that, what's going on with all that. Well, picture this. Picture this. Let me just give this is speculation. This may be what? This is just a little bit of speculation, trying to demonstrate here something, okay? The strategy is what? Well, to tarnish him, tarnish Trump. It might galvanize his support, but there may be many who see this as just too much. I don't want to get involved. It's too messy. They're trying to put this guy in jail. Look, I want normalcy. I want something else. Give me DeSantis. Give me someone else. And maybe that's their strategy here, right? Tarnish him. Yes, he has support. Many might want to stay out of it due to just how bad it is. And wow, they're really going after him. But many more might say, this is too much. It's too messy. I'm moving on. Okay. And so picture this being the strategy. Well, that implies that there's still a chance, right? That implies that the enemy fears losing within the parameters of the election system. Okay. Am I LARPing here? Is this a Marvel Universe comic that I'm expressing here? Let me know, chat. But take this in. If they're trying to tarnish him and all that, well, then they're still hoping that they get more votes. And as much as many of you don't trust the elections and all that, okay, And there's questions. People have questions. I, for one, do not have such questions. Not of the 2020 election. Never. Not me. But if it implies that with, let's say there's cheating and all that going on, that they still gotta, even with all their cheating, of which I know none is happening. This is all hypothetical. But let's say there was a bunch of cheating. You know, they can't cheat everything, so they still gotta win some stuff legit. Am I making sense here? It implies that they still fear losing within the parameters of this election, and they're gonna try everything, right? But it implies that the enemy respects this unseen force of what we call the electorate, the election system, whatever. So that, you know, it means like they respect that, and respect that in the sense of they fear it. Am I making any sense here? And so we gotta hit him with everything we got, or is that wishful thinking? So they still respect or fear public opinion. Yeah, it's fickle, easily controlled, but it's essential for their control. Meaning it's not absolute. And you know, come on, right? I'm making some sense. There's still a chance. There's still a chance, y'all. Bill Barr says the First Amendment will not protect Donald Trump from charges of trying to overturn the election. Bill Barr, if you don't know, he was Trump's attorney general during his presidency. And it seems like there's no shortage of former associates, employees, friends, lovers, whatever, that will just turn on the man and go publicly saying this or that. You saw that on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Wait, did we get to that on the Jesse Lee Peterson show? Mike Pence? I talked about his statement yesterday. He took his statement even farther, and it started saying other things about Mike Pence. Did we ever get to that, Sean, on the Jesse Lee Peterson show? Mike Pence. I read his statement yesterday where he's saying anyone who puts himself over the Constitution, meaning Trump, should never be president, is Mike Pence's statement about Trump and the indictment. Well, he went even farther. He went even farther and says, and made some like video statement, I believe, about about the indictment, okay? But basically doubling down. Just like, oh yeah, a gaggle of crackpot lawyers asked him to overturn the election. No such thing as friends. That's right, Hake. Jesse said Mike Pence is an example of no such thing as friends, and it's just it's a lonely world, but this is an example for all of us. There really are no such thing as friends, right? JLP called Pence an enemy of America, in fact. But let's watch some of this news, a little bit on the Pence thing, and then on someone else too I just brought up.
With us now, CNN political commentator Alyssa Farrah-Griffin.
Oh, no, is this a long one? What do they talk about here?
Seen the Barr have returned the
Oh, yeah, Bill Barr.
The issue of big
Right
Giuliani saying forward with any evidence. And in fact, as the indictment puts forward, you have Giuliani saying, yeah, we have a lot of theories, but we don't have any evidence. I mean, that's a pretty big admission. No evidence. They wanted to overturn the election, and they had no evidence of outcome determinative fraud.
And so Bill Barr here, and maybe I can find Pence's comment here, but Bill Barr is here saying basically is that he doesn't think Trump is free from is safe from any charges. And what are the charges? Conspiracy. And I have a comment on that in a second. But basically, the First Amendment is not protecting Trump from those charges of conspiracy. And he's saying in this clip, he's talking about how this is part of the charges against Trump, is that they had previous knowledge that they could not, because you're allowed to challenge results and all that. There's legal ways to do so. And they allege that Trump and his associates knew better. They actually knew better, and they knew what they were doing. They knew better, and that they could not make such challenge, but they went for it anyways and lied. And that's the conspiracy. But you got to understand that charging someone for conspiracy is like almost getting to the point. It's like you're saying, yeah, you were thinking of doing something. You were thinking and planning to do something, and that's a no-no. it's a far cry from an actual charge like sedition or treason, which is what they were saying about Trump for all this time, right? He's seditious, conspiracy to defraud the electors and do all this. And what are his charges? Conspiracy. Hey, you were thinking and conspiring and planning to do something. That's a no-no. And so for Bill Barr to go out, and I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer. But for Bill Barr to go out like with such a like strong, and he was the former attorney general, Trump's former AG, to come out with such a strong condemnation of Trump, like, yeah, you're not getting off, buddy. For essentially what? Conspiracy. You would think on such a hard-hitting moment of American history where they're going after a president, they'd go after it for, real things, not gray area stuff where it's like, well, maybe he's just asking questions. But what else? What else about this? Yeah, Mike Pence, I wanted to maybe show you. Oh, yeah, Sean brought up I wanted to play this a while ago. Did you send it to my personal email? Yeah, I found it. Let's play this clip sent to me by Sean, Jesse Lee Peterson's producer, doing some incredible on-the-fly producing here. Sent me a little video, a little compilation. You want to come after me, right? They want to come after me. They're trying to come after your president for denying legitimacy of this or that. Well, here's a little compilation of the Democrats denying the legitimacy of the 2016 election. Let's see if I can even play this. How should I do this? I don't think I can play this.
You can run the best campaign.
Ooh, Bill with the awesome tech. We can, in fact, play you. I can do whatever I want with this amount of power. This amount of power is too much. Straight to my head. I can play you any clip I want, do whatever I want. Here's that compilation from Sean. Thank you.
You can even become
from the GOP YouTube channel.
The nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So how do you fight against that?
That's seditious conspiracy.
You are absolutely right.
He's an illegitimate president in my mind.
Folks, look, these Democrats are going to get my channel. These Democrats, hey, YouTube, they're talking about Trump. They're denying Trump's legitimacy, and you're allowed to do that on YouTube. So don't get mad at me, YouTube.
Absolutely agree. Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put into office because the Russians interfered.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
I think I met that guy. Who's that old guy?
Although legally elected is not legitimate.
I don't see this.
Who was that old guy? Wasn't he like oh, that's Jimmy Carter. Never mind. My bad. That's Jimmy Carter, jeez.
The president.
The president-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was.
So that was a very tainted election, and in that sense, it's illegitimate.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he knows he didn't. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
Stolen emails, stolen drone, stolen election. Welcome to the world of unprecedented Trump.
The outcome of the election was affected by their interference, and now...
Amazing. Thank you, Sean, for that. Yeah, there you go. Hypocrisy, double standards. It's the American way lately. It just seems to be the way. Away. Esti away. Jeez. But who else is going after him? Pence, you saw that on the JLP show and all that, and calling them crackpot lawyers. And there's no shortage of people just turning on him. And it's like essentially what? Essentially, because maybe you don't understand the minutiae of the law and all what's going on. And I don't either. I'm not a lawyer. But I think there's a simple way we can look at it. On one side, you got Pence and what's his face? Pence and who the heck was I just talking about? Friggin' the other guy. Bill Barr, essentially caring about the minutia, the little like, hey, this doesn't look right, and you shouldn't have taken this piece of paper here. And they are basically, caring about maybe a little wrong that Trump may have done, and basically justifying DOJ going after him in a unprecedented way, and I don't think an appropriate way, right? Let's say he had a classified document. This is not the appropriate penalty for all this. This is not justice. And you got these little legalistic pencil pushers like, hey, that's against the rules, Trump. And anyone who goes against the rules shouldn't be president. You shouldn't do that. Don't you see the rules? It's written right up there. And they're caring about this little legalistic thing when Trump represents the public, wants to defend the public, has done so and tried to at every step of the way. The evil establishment is against them, and they're willing to side with the establishment because of this. It's like they care about the word but not the spirit. They can't even see the spirit. That's kind of how I see it. Maybe you disagree. 888-775-3773. But that's kind of how I see it a little bit. And also that there's a little bit of air of I get the impression that the enemy at least respects public opinion and voting and stuff to a certain degree. They might be willing to, I have no evidence. They might be willing to stretch certain laws and certain electoral things, but they care about public opinion somewhat. So that should be a sign that we could keep going. And that there's chance. There's a chance. Okay? And isn't that what the good guys do? The good guys, they keep going even if there's a little chance. The good guys, they'll go up until they're sure that, okay, that chance that we had is gone. That's what the good guys do, right? Isn't that what the good guys do in the movies? Even if there's a chance, we got to at least try. We got to at least try and put our best foot forward. So don't get mad and fall into any traps, a.k.a. protests. And we keep going, right? 2024, we still rolling with Trump. Nice. What shall we do next, chat? What shall we do next? Yeah. Man, what do I want to do next? I got a couple fun things, random things. Vince McMahon. I think I want to talk about Vince McMahon a little bit. You know what Vince McMahon is? This might be a nice manhood hour moment. That's a man, right? Vince McMahon, American professional wrestling promoter, legend. You know what I'm talking about? Chat, you know what I'm talking about, right? What do you guys think? Vince McMahon, he's age 77, American businessman, media proprietor, professional wrestling executive chairman of WWE, the world's largest professional wrestling company. Everybody grow up with WWE? Yeah, WWE. I remember growing up with WWE. I remember hearing it was fake young, but it didn't matter to me. I just wanted to do the moves. Obviously, I would just do the moves on my little cousins. Batista bomb. Vince McMahon's dead? No, he's not. He's not dead, Lucas. You're talking about the dead guy. Vince equals American hero, says Carver. He also says, we just cracked 500. Emo Nick is happening. No! I grew up with WWF, says Malkuth Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Throw some spec on his name, Nick, says Lord Bibby. Thank you. Hey, I'm throwing mad respect on Vince McMahon's name. I remember growing up and watching WWE, and Vince McMahon was he was so funny. His just style and he seemed like the old guy, but he was like an old guy, but he was buff, right? And he was like the boss, but he'd fight sometimes. And he was always so funny in his expression. He always have this face on. Am I doing the Vince McMahon right? Nick's low cousins, may they rest in peace. Yeah, you got to hit him with the DDT. You got to hit him with what's the Randy Orton's move? What was Randy Orton's move? What was Randy Orton's finisher? You got to hit him with that. Batista bomb. When you heard that bell, bing, oh, and I'm not talking Halo, I'm talking The Undertaker. Come on, somebody knows Randy Orton's move. The RKO. Thank you, Lord Bibby. RKO, Diamond Cutter, true. The Walls of Jericho. I used to do the Walls of Jericho on my cousin. That would make him scream. That's a submission move. The Sweet Chin Music. You gotta love Sweet Chin Music, okay? Literally everybody has, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Right on, breathable air technology. Vince was roided out. Yes, I didn't know that about roids back in the day. I thought these were just big. I thought they were just beasts. And I could be like that one day. I didn't realize that they were juiced out of their tree. But you got to love Sweet Chin Music. Everybody had cool finisher moves. You grapple this way and you slam the person this way. But Shawn Michaels, his finishing move was just a kick to the face. I loved it. That was the best. That was the coolest move. It was just a kick straight to the face. Get down. And you got to love the spear. That was my favorite. Spear. The spear. Anyways, enough of that. There's someone that comes to church, a youngin who's into wrestling as well, and his dad. They go watch wrestling, and it's funny. I didn't know that young people still were getting into that. I thought the secret's out. That it's fake, and fake as in like it's scripted. They know who's gonna win and lose, and what move is next. Okay, you're gonna powerbomb me now, and then you're gonna full Nelson me, and then I'm gonna submission, and then I win. Now, does anybody know if Vince McMahon, was he kind of like a bad guy? Growing up, he's always kind of like the bad guy. Like he was like, he had like a bad boy, there was always like a bad boy impression to him. Am I wrong about this, chat? Vince McMahon was kind of the bad guy. And in wrestling, you have people play their parts. People play the part of the hero, the winner, and of the foil. They're known as foils. The foil, if you're playing the part of foil, meaning you're the bad guy, you're the villain, you're willing to take on the hate of the public, of the crowd. The crowd is going to boo you because you're the foil, and that's your part. You play it up. You play up the drama, and you play up the drama for good. So you get and get the message out there. But Nick exposing the business, spoiling wrestling for the kids. Listen, kids, cover your ears if you're still watching wrestling. But don't fret, children. Those roided beast men are actually lifting each other, and they actually are doing some acrobatic stuff, and sometimes actually slamming people down relatively not enough to hurt each other. It's not foil, it's heel. My bad. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. Thank you. It's not foil, it's the heel. You're not playing the part of the foil, you're playing the part of the heel. Thank you for that, 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎. We have a real wrestling fan in the chat. Are you kidding, man? Says Doom Jesus. People still believe that the two-party system is a fake contest. Of course they still believe in wrestling. Hey, maybe who's the heel? Who's playing the heel in politics? Who's playing the heel in the Democrats and the Republicans? Hey, are we? Is it a little bit of World Wrestling Federation going on in Congress? Whoa. Okay, but anyways, back to the real stuff, wrestling. Vince McMahon, he was in the news because, well, he was in the news and I saw an image of him recently. I'm like, dang, Vince McMahon looks like that. And he's, I believe, going through health issues, but he's doing fine. He's a beast, and I believe he's getting Me Too'd. Our Vince McMahon is getting Me Too'd. What the heck? The WWE to Bond pipeline is real. So true. But Vince McMahon, we all, plenty of us in the chat seem to have fond memories. We love Vince McMahon, right? Look at what he looks like recently. This is what he looks like lately. I don't know why I'm shocked, but he just doesn't look like Vince McMahon. He looks like someone else. Let me pull up a picture of him. He just, maybe, did he get plastic surgery? Did his face change? Or is it just, or does he really look that different with a mustache? Let me pull it up. This is Vince McMahon. He's got this pencil stash kind of thing going on. Looking like, what is he looking like? Casablanca? Like, did that guy have a mustache? Casablanca. Well, looking like an actor from that era. Looking like, I don't know. He just looks different. He looks different. He's looking like who's the Bugle, the reporter for the boss at the Bugle for Spider-Man. What's his name? J. Jonah Jameson. He's looking like J. Jonah Jameson. Spider-Man. I need Spider-Man right now. I need photos of Spider-Man right now on my desk right now. That's my Jonah Jameson. That's my J. Jonah Jameson impression. 1 out of 10 in the chat. You know who I'm talking about, right? This comes full circle. We talked about Spider-Man today. J. Jonah Jameson, the boss, Spider-Man's boss. Vince McMahon is looking kind of like this guy. Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I want Spider-Man right now, Spider-Man. Yeah, so he's looking different. So I thought that was interesting. But anyways, I guess back to Vince McMahon and his story a little bit. And what's going on with him. He's getting Me Too'd and also going through some health problems, I believe. He had some major surgery recently. And when I heard that, I thought it was his face. I thought it was surgery for like plastic surgery. But yeah, here it is. Vince McMahon hit with a federal subpoena. Yeah, the feds are going after they're going after Vince McMahon. Not Vince. I don't know why I like this guy so much. I guess because part of it growing up, it's nostalgia. But I remember growing up, he was just funny. Like, he was like, his style, he was like the bad guy, but he was old, but he was buff and he would still fight people. And I heard he was in the ring as early as last year. 76 years old, still in the ring. Okay. Man, how's that for a manhood hour or a men's history moment? This is, I don't know this men's history. Hey, some of you in the chat are saying he's a great American, so we're going to keep going. McMahon, okay, yeah, last month, WWE Executive Chairman Vince McMahon had his home searched and was served with a subpoena. This reportedly stems from an SEC investigation into reported hush money payment McMahon made. According to the claims, McMahon paid $3 million to a departing employee with whom he had had an affair. It's just stuff. Sordid affairs going out into the public. Some of these people, they can't help it sometimes. The news comes 6 months. But if this person got the money, though, if they got the hush money, then you're supposed to hush. What the heck? The news comes 6 months after McMahon settled a lawsuit filed by a former WWE referee who accused him of raping her in 1986. Wow, 1986? Bringing it up a little late, huh? Don't you think, lady? McMahon, who is currently recovering from spinal surgery, appears to remain under investigation by the federal government, the feds. I wonder why I went there. However, in the regulatory filing that reported the search, the WWE stated that no charges have been brought against McMahon at this time. So it's like, he made the payment. They're supposed to hush, and I don't think the issue's with that. But the SEC is basically coming down on him because taxes, you're supposed to report it a certain way. Like, what is going on? In 2022, WWE formed a special committee to review allegations of misconduct against me, McMahon said in a statement. That review was concluded in November 2022 following an extensive investigation. Throughout this experience, I have always denied any intentional wrongdoing and continue to do so. I am confident that the government's investigation will be resolved without finding any wrongdoing. Now, isn't that what they try to go after Trump for? Like it was that he misused campaign money, and that's like not right because of the hush money to Stormy Daniels or whatever. Horsey face Daniels. And then they try to go after Trump. It's like loopholes and little in between the lines, gray areas to try and get him for something else. I wonder if it's the same thing with Vince McMahon, huh? I suddenly feel like circling the wagons around Vince, even though I have no clue what's going on, and I might be ill-advised to do so. But yeah, it sounds a little similar, right? Because they tried to go after Trump because he dared run for president, and they said, "Hey, you misuse campaign money for the Stormy Daniels thing." And we're not criticizing you for that, but you're not allowed to use the campaign money like that. And that's not exactly a jailable or whatever offense. But if you take into account New York's law of this and blah, 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 that, well, then it suddenly gets upgraded to a felony. Is essentially a bad summary of what happened with Trump and the Stacey Daniels thing. Like, well, is there justice or is the whole thing corrupt? I used to think to myself, you know what I used to say to people in Canada when I was kind of just starting to learn the Ben Shapiro conservative stuff, which I appreciate a lot. It's very true. A lot of us came to a lot of this conservative knowledge and stuff through Ben Shapiro, so I thank him for that. And Daily Wire, they red-pilled me in a lot of things. And in the early days, I'm gonna get to calls here. Thanks for your calls. On the early days, though, I used to say stuff to the Canadians like, thanks to the American system, they've created the least, there's corruption in every system, but thanks to the Americans, I admire them because they have the least corruption due to their checks and balances and da-da-da. But, you know, peeling back the layers of the onion, the corruption goes deep. It's not looking like that anymore, y'all. I can't be this doughy-eyed little fresh conservative anymore and say that. But I used to say that earnestly, like the Americans created the best system and it's, you know, they with the least corruption and stuff. It might be the most now. What else about this? Let me get to Brian, North Carolina. You're on the air, sir. Thank you.
What's up, Nick? You doing all right, man?
All is well, sir. Thank you for that.
Right on. Hey, I just think you just got done talking about the story, the Vince being sued or investigated. I think you said.
Correct.
And it's just funny to me. I don't know why this is, but it's funny how anytime we see somebody is being sought after to be taken down in a manner like this, like you use Trump for the example, it's funny how they can never get them on the thing that they want to accuse them of. And so instead they end up charging them or pursuing them with by using something financially legal thing to take them down.
Such a good point, man. Yeah, I said it better than I was saying it. It really is that, what you're saying. They can never go for the thing that they're accusing them of. They got to do they have to get loopholes and play chess and strategically get them. It's like, I thought this was justice. What's going on here?
Why do you think they do that, though?
Well, it's because I think it's clearly for the most obvious reason, because they literally can't get him on the things that they're alleging and accusing him of. They have to stretch. The whole thing is already truth stretched. So even the charge itself has to be stretched, because the charge, when you charge someone with a crime, that's the part where you summarize your whole point, and it has to be as truthful as you can, and you can't lie with your charge. And so the whole thing is truth stretched, so they have to stretch the truth with the charge as well.
Okay, yeah, and you're right about that. I guess the better question would have been, how are they able to do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, we can't do it. It's like they pull things out of thin air, or typically they try to go back to something like Vince's case, something from 1986.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you able to just go back in somebody's past like that and say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and put this under review?
Right. And it shouldn't be that you're asking. No, that was a question. But to comment on that, it's the thing is, it's like the reason is that you're saying, well, how can they get away with that, basically? Like, how can they get away with lying?
Well,
and
yeah, how
stretching?
are they able? Well, just how are they able to affect someone in that way?
And that part doesn't matter. That's the part that doesn't matter to them, which is why, in their framework, that doesn't matter. The ends justify the means.
So when you say it, and I agree with that, right? But so from where I'm sitting, it looks like they only do it because it's the last thing they can do, which is to attempt to destroy someone's reputation.
Right. You're saying that's the last thing they can do to someone?
That's the last thing they try. That's what they try to do when they can't actually take you down. The next thing they want to do is say, okay, here's Vince McMahon, this guy everybody loved. He was WWE, he was the face. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going to throw this story out there about him, and now try to attack him legally and financially.
Totally.
And most people are going to look at him and be like judging him based off what's happening.
That's the thing about these like evil, opportunistic people. They strike when they think they can win, and so they're watching and they see the chinks in the armor. They see the whatever. I don't know what happened with that woman and Vince McMahon, but you know, men in general, people in general, they make mistakes and live their lives the way they live, right? And they set themselves up for possible scenarios where they wouldn't have been in those scenarios should they have just lived right? And so they find the chinks in the armor, they find the times when you weren't exactly perfect, and they make their case. And then when this salivating, sick people, they see their chance, they pounce. And sometimes they may overstep, maybe with Trump and all that, but sometimes they see blood and they sink their teeth with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And I don't know all the details, right? Because apparently it's a hush. It was the SEC's going after him, so it's not even about the situation with the woman because that's been handled.
Right, but that came up first.
The
you know what I mean? Like, why is that even a part of the story?
Right. Tarnish reputation.
Right. If it's about the SEC, then why are we talking about other mess?
Right. Yeah, because it's part of the whole thing. They brought it up.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. But I used to watch WWE. I like WWE. I used to like WWE a lot.
You used to like WWE what?
A lot.
So was Vince, were your grandpa what, you said?
He used to watch, when I used to visit my grandpa on Saturdays, I used to go there Saturdays and Sundays, and we would watch it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
on
man.
Like he had this big bubble TV. I don't know if you was around for the big booty TVs.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. The CRT TVs, the big ones.
The one that has the knob on the front, and to turn it on, you got to pull the knob out, and it'll like pop.
No,
I can't say, fuse pop.
I can't say I know, but I can imagine it. Who was the guy? They had this one Mexican guy. I'm not talking about Rey Mysterio, the one with the mask, the luchador. But they had this one guy who was Latino, and I remember his song was "I lie, I cheat, I steal." Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it wasn't even really like a song. It was just like a guy in a devilish voice saying that.
I lie, I cheat, I steal. Eddie Guerrero.
I remember that.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
I believe
he died, didn't he?
I believe he died. Eddie Guerrero. I remember that guy was.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, that one was cool. He was like a villain.
Was, cool.
Was Vince McMahon a bit of a villain, or am I getting that wrong?
No, he was like the in between villain, man. He was like Deadpool would be.
Gotcha. Like an anti-hero.
Rough, but right.
Nice.
It was weird. But yeah,
I love it. Good times.
Cool stuff.
Good times, Brian.
Man, appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Anything else before I move the wheels, sir?
No, sir. That's all I got.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for your call, Brian. Take care. Moving the wheels. I lied. Why'd they give the Mexican? Why'd they give Latino? Why'd they give the Latino? Or maybe it's a little fitting. Whoa. Maybe it's kind of fitting. I lie, I cheat, I steal. And that was his song. He'd walk in. That was his entrance song. That was his entrance song. Eddie Guerrero. R.I.P. Latino Heat. R.I.P. Chris Benoit. True. Remember that guy? Chris Benoit. That guy, there was like some bad stuff that happened there, no? Like some pretty nasty, like, we're talking murder, no? Like murder. Oh, yeah. Murder, suicide. Ooh, yeah. Not everything in the wrestling federation, wrestling world was hunky-dory. Not everything was sweet. And not everything was fake. Some of that was a little too real. Am I right? So here's to the heels. Here's to the foils. I swear foil is a thing too. Is a thing. Foil, character, play. Maybe it's like a play thing. Yeah, maybe this is like a play thing. This is like Shakespeare. A foil character is a literary technique that serves as a counterbalance to the protagonist. Okay, I meant heel. I meant heel for the wrestling stuff. But foil is a real thing. Okay? The foil. That's a real thing. Okay? So don't judge me. Who did the Walls of Jericho? Walls of Jericho. Was that Chris Benoit? Walls of Jericho. Finisher move. Who did the Walls? Chris Jericho. Duh. Chris Jericho. And of course, you can't forget. This one of my favorites. And I was like way bigger than all my cousins. So I would terrify them when I would do this move because this is like a ropes move. Okay, you have the ropes of the ring, and when you get up on the ropes, that's like a very flashy move. You're about to jump off the ropes and do something crazy, a somersault in the air. Those are one of the crazy flashy moves. Okay, and a big man on the ropes is a cause for concern. Okay, and my cousins, they were little. That's why it was so easy to do Batista bombs and stuff on them. But my favorite was getting up on the chair and doing the 5-star frog splash. Now you don't want to see that coming at you in the air. You know it's over after that, right? And I guess that's, what else is over? The show. That's all for now. That's all for today, folks. We had some fun there. We did the show. We got into some topics, and we even took a call or two. Or just one, maybe. We even took calls. Your support is appreciated. You keep it going. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow for Nick's stream. We'll be flying the plane tomorrow. Much appreciated. Thanks for being here this week for American Anchor Baby. Make sure you have your tickets ready and you're ready for tomorrow's flight. Okay? We'll be having a nice one. What else? Let me sure I don't want to miss any super chats here and miss anything before we close out here. Malkuth X with a super chat there says, hot take on Sexy Red. Wait, what? What is this? Is this a song? Should I not be repeating this? Sexy Red Pound Town? Oh, is this a song? I don't think I've heard this. 2023 single by Sexy Red and Tay Keith. The song is Pound Town by Sexy Red. Pound Town just left Pound Town with my Enga. He just took a itch down. I don't know if I should. Trump reads rap lyrics. How about that? I'm out here in Miami looking for the hoochie daddies. Where my Enga's at that get ratchet. My son need a new pappy. Too many. Yeah, I can't say all this. I can't say any of this. But thank you for the super chat there. Thank you for the super chat there, Malkuthex, and everybody else for your support. Much appreciated. All right, y'all. Let me sign out for real. I like to say bye like 10 times. I like to say goodbye like a million times. Okay. Anchor Baby ending. All right, y'all. Take care. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.